Alright, wonderful fuckers, welcome back to Practicing Portraits, an artwod roadmap. And before I forget, because I've been meaning to say this for the past 3 videos now, but yes, official Viggy Discord, right? One of my fans, crazy enough, what's it called? Like, he gave me his Discord, right? And I've just been setting it up for the past month, and by setting it up, and by the way, get your pen, get your pencil, draw along, right? Artwod is the goat. You all know what the fucking drill. But anyways, let me just get this out of the way. Yes, I have set up an official Discord. Link is now officially in description. It should be under the things I shill section, right? And yeah, one of my fans gave me the Discord. He's like, bro, you're lit. He basically said, I want you to achieve good, like, great things, something like that. I might be paraphrasing or completely blowing my own fucking ass up, but blowing smoke up my ass? No, that's not the saying either. I'm filleting myself extensively. There you go. That's the saying. But by the way, I'm already drawing. So in my mind, right? We gotta keep saying that I'm drawing in my mind so people know that drawing is a thinking skill. But yeah, one of my fans gave me the Discord. I was setting it up as in just like, refactoring the fucking refactoring the channels. There's an art challenges channel. The only reason I actually didn't even make this public prior, right, like beforehand, is because I was trying to figure out what to do with this whole art challenges channel, because I don't want to half-ass it and just be like, hey guys, draw 10 boxes, whoop-de-doo, but at the same time, I'm way too fucking busy to actually moderate a Discord. So if you guys want a community that is obviously based on my community, the small, like, little niche community that we have right now, right? Viggy famming, whatever the fuck, art channel, people dick around about art, whatever, right? Yeah, join the Discord, it's in the description, right? Feel free, like, and again, like, people who are, I guess, if you want to talk about the fundamentals and you can't, or just anything related to art, if you're passionate about art, fucking join up, right? Like, this is, I think, a great opportunity to actually just kind of get to know each other as a community. I will probably reply once every 3 years, but apart from that, I think that's on par for. Oh, yeah, I made the mistake again. Wow, that is really off. That's an amazing mistake. Yeah, this is way off in comparison to the reference. Right. Oh yeah, this is rep number 1 because we're starting on the third exercise of the artwod portrait roadmaps, like second fucking section of 50. Right, but way off, but still a very good exercise. See, I'm actually frauding here by going like this. We need to do my difficult angle, right, which is this. And again, I'm really trying to see that sphere inside this box. I'm really trying to see it. Like, I'm genuinely really trying to see it right now. And I mean, it's 3 layers of perspective. The box, sphere inside the box, center line inside the sphere inside the box, right? So it's incredibly difficult. And again, the bigger the box, the harder it is for me to make the convergence very subtle, if non-existent, right? But also, like, it ends up diverging as well. So this is also, like, this box is so big that I think I ended up diverging a little bit again, which is a mistake, which is good, right? Yeah, this is, again, a very subtle divergence. So by like a millimeter or so, maybe 2 millimeters, 2 millimeter. But yeah, fucking Discord, Viggy Discord, open, sick, right? Like, join up. If you guys have any questions you'd like to ask me, right? Because I'm so fucking important. Do you really eat your own shit? No, I just smell like shit. Hence my race, right? I was actually saving the racist joke about Indians, as a deflection about a racist joke I was going to make about black people, right? But it's all related. It's all related. It's okay, so I'll just get it out of the way now. Basically, my fans are fucking hilarious. My latest thumbnail that's out right now, like today from YouTube, was like, I got a Glock in my Rari, 17 shots, no 38, right? And then the next thing I, like, in the thumbnail, I'm like, am I part of the hood yet? And then I got 2 comments, 2 fuckers. One of them I recognize, Ravon. Another person I think is new, like, I've never seen their comment, right? Obviously, there's a lot of silent people who watch me. But they, like, I think one of the guys said, it was like, as a representative of the hood, you are officially black, or like you're invited to the cookout. And then Ravon was just like, as the emperor of black people, you are hood certified or some shit like that. I was dying, and I was gonna make some joke about how I don't know what a cookout is, right? Which actually, like, I can kind of tell, but I didn't know that, like, that was a part of black culture. And that was good. And my joke was going to be, I don't know much about black culture apart from the fact that they like guns, being on the run, and buns that don't lie. Oh, and then I was gonna be like, but it's okay, like, I smell like shit and I like curry, and that was gonna be the whole setup, but I kind of fucking ruined it. Just completely ruined it, soiled it, as wise SpongeBob. Is that SpongeBob? I think so. It's okay, we are all racist here, right? And then we hide behind the fact that we're not racist by doing an accent. I'm currently hiding behind the Russian accent, right? Like and subscribe if you also hide behind it. Look at all these lines. When I say like these lines are shit, by the way, like that's what I mean. You see how it's skipping a bunch? That's not what I'm trying to do, and they're too thick, as well. Too thick, as one might say. But okay, see, I'm back to recalibrating myself and looking at the sphere inside the box and the center lines inside the sphere inside the box. Like this angle's completely off, by the way. Like it's way too wide. It should have been more like this line right here. This plane should have been more like that. So you can see it's very off, but that's a good thing, you know. I've made this mistake before, and because I'm a dum-dum, I make this mistake quite often, but you know, that's part of learning. Being a dum-dum and enjoying it, right? And again, while I'm drawing these lines, I'm fucking constantly trying to think about the sphere inside the box, right? And that's why it's like it's so hard because I have to zoom out almost. I almost have to blur my vision in a sense, but at the same time, hone my vision and zone it back in to see the perspective. It's so fucked. It's so difficult, right? It's so difficult. I think this is in the center, and again. Right now, I'm just really focusing on trying to see that center line, like while I'm drawing this, but also see the sphere and you know the center lines that are following the curve, the contour of the sphere, right? But TLDR, fucking horribly implemented, shitty racist joke, which I was gonna lead up to it, and it was gonna be much more funny, but unfortunately, this is what I'm capable of. Right? This is my current capabilities. But with enough repetitions and outward racism, I too can use growth mindset and improve. Right? It's all a skill. Even being racist is a skill, right? But yeah. Anyways, my brain is really hurting. This is good. Like trying to calculate this shit. Okay, now like I'm really trying to calculate it, right? And while I'm trying to calculate this now, this is the actual difficult part, which is, oh yeah, like now that's hurting my brain because I'm literally trying. I'm zooming in, right? I have to focus. My focus is zoned in on this implementation. Right, the implementation of these eyebrows, but at the same time, I have to constantly be zooming out and seeing the sphere and the center line inside the sphere. How well did I manage to do it? To be honest, not that well. It was maybe like flickering, right? I saw it maybe 20 to 30% of the time and it was just flickering. But now that I'm talking, and again, talking and drawing is a skill, I'm back. I've gotten a lot of comments as of late. People seem to be really enjoying the videos. Right, and this is also off perspective now that I look at it, because this, you can see, like the angle is not accurate. Right, like this eyebrow angle is not accurate. This one's a bit more so, but this one definitely isn't, which is good, because that means I made a very legitimate mistake. And I'm gonna actually, even though this guy's eye is supposed to be closed, I am going to keep it open for my own sake. Just so I understand the perspective. And again, while I'm drawing these features, it's extremely difficult to see that sphere, you know, to see. And like right now, I'm struggling a lot, right? So that's good. We want to, again, I want to make it very clear, like this is all a good thing, right? Like struggling, no matter where you're struggling, right? In the learning journey, that is the point, you know. The goal is the goal, as I was saying, is to struggle and then to, again, like I'm thinking right now, so it's very difficult to explain myself, but the goal is to struggle and to try our best with each struggle to take something away from it, whether it's positive emotions, whether it's effort, or whether it's a continuous struggle, like even more, right? Like it's kind of all we can do. And you know, like this isn't bad considering right now, like I don't even know how to draw a face from this angle. It shows with the fucking nose, bars, but it shows, yeah, 100% with the nose that I don't know what I'm doing. Like, yeah, that nose is like flat as fuck, bro. That is, holy shit, that is flat. How could I have not made that as flat? Well, maybe something like this. Dude, okay, that literally looks like a pig nose. That is not what this guy's nose looks like. It looks holy shit, I can't believe I fucked it to that extent. Like, yes, he has a wide nose and he has a flat bridge, but the way I drew it is just, it's oink worthy, as they say. But anyways, let me at least try to get his lips right. I will say, like, it's extremely difficult with trying to think about the sphere and the center lines, and like, again, I'm constantly trying to recalibrate myself, and I haven't been able to because I've been too focused on the features, right? But let's just try something like this, right? Probably should have had more centered here. Like, that's way too far. So let's do something like that. Guys, like, do not, this is not what this guy looks like. For the love of Christ, that is not what he looks like. That is not what he looks like. Holy shit. Well, again, I will say I'm proud of myself considering the fact that I haven't even, like, his face is so off angle. Like, it's so much of an extreme angle. Like, so much of an extreme angle that I'm just happy that the tiniest bit of likeness is there. But anyways, I'm going to rest my brain. I encourage you to do so as well. Okay, and then obviously we're gonna do the even more difficult thing with this, which is carrying this projection over. I don't know why I said it like that. I want to access the state I had here last video. Like when I did this specifically, like these 4 or 5 shapes, where you can see it looks pretty interesting and it's like something mechanical and you know the ratios are good and it's starting to look like a nice design, just in terms of like aestheticness, like you know, aesthetically pleasing, visually pleasing, like a nice design here. This, it went to shit completely, right? So and I think that's because I lost that perfect middle state where it's like trying really hard to visualize the overall box sphere center lines and like, you know, obviously making sure the shapes that I'm drawing are following that. But then when I draw those shapes, allowing a little bit of looseness and ideation and free flowing and curiosity and just like that intuition from observing all of these shapes I've been doing on Pinterest on my hard surface board and my mech design helmet board, right? That I've just been like constantly getting recommended and adding to those boards. Yeah, like I think I definitely need to try to access this state because let me tap that shit more. Maybe if maybe if I do that, I'll actually get it. But anyways, let's rest our brains. Dude, I can't take that face seriously. It looks nothing like this guy. This is how you know I'm a complete beginner though, right? Yeah, like obviously the perspective changed drastically, but it's already so many things to think about. So it's beautiful. Yes, I'm sure the sounds of me slurping on my water bottle was very pleasant to the ear as you were trying to rest your brain and employ the spacing effect. You're all welcome. If I get monetized, I don't think I will, but if I ever do get monetized, like rest assured, one ad in the beginning, one ad at the end. I will not fuck. I joke around. I made that joke months back, right? Being like, oh, I'm thinking one ad every second. I'm gonna fuck your ears, but genuinely, no. Like this is like it would like I will suck dick. Okay, I will slurp for sponsorships, for, you know, like buy my course for, you know, fucking member chat, right? Member pledges, whatever the fuck, anything that isn't ads. I will fucking gape my asshole, but I have standards. I have morals, okay? My butthole puckers when it comes to video ads. For the fans, for the hashtag ViggyFams, right? ViggyFammers, right? You're welcome. I hold myself to standards, all because of you. I want you to learn. It's an art progress channel, goddammit, not a fucking... Well, I don't really have a good saying for this, but yeah, not a channel where you're just gonna... Where it's an hour long, and like, dude, I can't say draw long, like, I can't, it's, like, can you imagine the fucking disrespect if I'm like, draw long, get your pen, get your paper, draw long, and then the next second, you're like, Tide is the best fucking, I don't know what that is. Like Tide shits on your laundry and produces a baby, something like that, right? We don't promote Tide Pods or any sort of retardation in this channel, right? Say no to eating Tide Pods. We slurp on them with our tea like gentlemen. None of these jokes are funny. I'm well aware. I'm trying so hard. This is what happens. I'm trying so hard to think to like be like ha ha ha, say something funny, say something quirky, Viggy famming, but I'm like, wait. Just be yourself. These people love you. They all revere the ground you walk on because of your autism, not in spite of it. All right. So there's no point in trying. Don't think, just do. Which is the complete opposite of what I'm doing right now, which is thinking, but still. Okay, so let's really calculate, because this is this contour, right? And then this one is something like that, right? Well. Don't you love it when the pen just goes to shit? I actually do need to get a new pen because I've just been cycling over the past 3 pens, even though they completely run out for sure. I don't know. I might need to get more brush pens. I think I only have like 15 left. So it's time to beg my friends. Is there anything coming up? My birthday's not coming up, unfortunately, anytime soon. What do we have? We got Easter, right? It's March. What the fuck do we have in March? I'll be like, happy March break, please. Fuck, they're not even. Nobody's in school, bro. We're all in our late 20s. What is there? Okay, but anyways, let's start with. Okay, let's start with really honing in this shape, right? So this is the center line, and then we have. Yeah, okay, so the hardest thing right now, and that's gonna give me the biggest return on investment, is the box and the sphere inside the box. Like, that is the #1 return on investment, proportionally speaking as well, right? Like, just keeping that proportion. So the main thing right now is to keep that proportion, and then the second main thing is to clearly, you know, draw on top of it. Draw fucking simple, complicated, whatever shapes on top of it. Yeah, good job, genius. You're just saying what everybody already knows, but yeah, the main thing definitely is to keep a proportional sphere in mind and calculate that, right? And it's the calculating that's also very important. You know, it's the calculating that's also very important. So if I had something like this, and this is just me thinking out loud. Oh my god, this is I fucking love this, man. I genuinely, like, this is why we draw, okay? Because when shit gets hard like this, it makes me hard, like this, just like that, right? So there you go, stay winning, right? Oh my god, my brain is dying, guys. Again, like, box, sphere inside the box, center line inside the sphere inside the box. I do wonder how helpful this is. Like, for me, I feel as if I was watching somebody, well, the thing is, you're watching me become great. None of you are at the tail end of my greatness, or even like what others would consider to be great, which is when I'm 10 years into drawing, right? So I feel as if maybe that probably doesn't mean as much right now for what I'm saying, but oh my god, my brain, bro, my brain. Oh, this hurting so badly. Okay, anyways. Yeah, like, I need to see these lines. That's the main thing, right? And then now that we've seen it, we need to... It has to be subtle. It has to be like this, right? Yeah. And then we need to establish the perspective with this garbage pen. You know what? Fuck this. First of all, I'm throwing all those pens out. Second of all, I'm getting my goddamn... Oh, god damn it, bro. I'm gonna have to go to my sketchbook and... God, fuck this. I'm just gonna get another one. Oh, did I throw those out? What the fuck? Did I actually throw those out already? I don't even remember that. Okay, we're just gonna have to stick with this. We're just gonna have to stick with this and make it work. God damn it. I don't want to even do that. God damn it. Okay, whatever. I'm too lazy. I'm too fucking lazy. I could technically edit the video, right? But I'm even too lazy to do that. So... let's see. And this is the perspective. So I obviously lost that a bunch of times just now. But let's see if... Okay, so this is where I kind of have to let my intuition take hold, maybe. Okay, let's just start with something like this. Oh, I already fucked up the perspective, but that's okay. It's slightly off. Take the L, live with it, right? Ah, this is so hard. This is actually so fucking difficult, but this is where I get to grow. Like, this is literally where I get to grow. So maybe even something like that. Right, that's the side. And then we can have, if this is my new perspective now, something like this, maybe coming out. Right? And this is then attached here. And perhaps, just for the sake of novelty, there will be a cutout. Actually, no. Maybe there shouldn't be a cutout. Okay, you know what? Fuck this. Just fuck you guys. Fucking draw. I'm just gonna get another pen. I can't do this. I cannot deal with this garbage right now. So, you know, none of you are actually here for my drawing, and none of you are actually here anymore at all. So it doesn't matter. And would you look at that? I didn't even have to be a lazy piece of... Oh, fuck me. No! Not the video. As I was saying, I didn't even have to be a lazy piece of shit because that only took 10 seconds, but either way. Okay, so we gotta really see the... And this is good because now my lines are gonna be really bad, which means they're gonna be really good in the sense that I'll be... And I'll be able to, yeah, I'll be able to see, like, the inadequacies of my line work, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so there's a lot wrong here, but either way, what else can be done? Well, why don't we, again, like, I really need to see that sphere, so... And then we could, if that's the angle that I'm doing there, then it's the same angle that's going here. There you go. And then we can, let's see, bring this down. And again, probably a lot of this is going to be like, what the fuck? Literally, what the fuck is he doing? But fret not, dumbass, for I have a solution. Part of that is you not being dumb. But, okay, now I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to zoom out and we're going to look at this again properly. Right? We're going to look at this again properly. And I feel as if I already made a couple mistakes, but that's okay. Because, yeah, like part of that is not being a fucking idiot and actually looking at the entire thing that I'm drawing, which is... Fuck me if that isn't hurting my goddamn brain. Like, actually, this is... Okay, yeah, trying to see the box. This is the grid that I've established, trying to see the entire sphere. Right? And... Let's see. Okay. Let's... follow this. Up like... Oh, that's a mistake. Like so... Oh, that's also a mistake. Oh, this is like line work mistakes, like very basic line work mistakes now as well, which is good. Like again, these are all good things, right? I want to be very clear that none of this makes me feel as if I'm inadequate. Not at all. Not at all. Right? Not that tall. Oh, actually, this kind of works out. There you go. And this can actually just be the other side of this thing, which we can then say is... How do we want this to be connected is the real question, right? Because I could... And this has already kind of gone to shit, let's be very honest, right? Like this, whatever I've done here is... It's already kind of gone to shit. In terms of like the perspective, like the perspective is really off, but that doesn't mean I can't keep trying, right? So if we got that on that side, then we bring it down again, comes over, and then there's a little bit here, right? Perhaps something like that. So the perspective is a little bit more established, perhaps, right? I'm obviously, in my language, you can tell I'm just like, maybe this, maybe that, maybe blah, 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 who fucking knows? But I am trying to access that state, which is basically like, yeah, I am trying to access the state which allows me to ideate. Like, I am trying. I'm not saying I'm succeeding, but I am... Yeah, I'm definitely trying to access that state. And all the while trying to see the box, sphere inside the box, center line inside the sphere inside the box. Like, bro, like, do you know how fucking hard it is to ideate this shit? Okay? Try seeing the box, center line, try seeing a box of this size, try seeing a sphere inside of it, try seeing a center line, like, going, this way, as well as this way, and, like, projecting that infinitely across the fucking sphere, and now try drawing shapes inside of that, right? Viggy crashes out because he thinks his fans don't understand how difficult things are. Which is true. You motherfuckers, you just leave funny comments and make me laugh, but I'm the one who has to actually do the work. You cunts. And we all know I hate working. I think it's been established that I hate doing the work. I abhor doing the work. Right? What do I always say? It's about not putting in effort. It's about feeling like shit when you put in the effort. And then it's about saying this isn't enjoyable. Right? So you're literally making me go against everything I ever say. I hope you feel good about that. Because I sure do. I actually feel great right now. This is actually pretty good though, because it's definitely teaching me to think about the other side, which I'm glad that I'm actually getting the opportunity to do that again, because I've been fucking that up constantly. And also, you know, lines. Right, so, and then that connects like that. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. I mean, it's not an incredible design by any means, but let's see, and then we'll just, what else can I do? Okay, so that's supposed to come across like this. What do I want to do with this? What the fuck do I want to do with this? Because obviously we still have, well, first, why don't I just close this off? Like so. I feel as if this is, there's a lot of things I could end up doing with the perspective, which is gonna fuck it up a lot. But maybe something like this wouldn't be too bad. Right? On the other side as well. And I know, like, I really want my spheres to have something more going for them, but like my cylindrical shapes, sorry. Like I want my cylindrical shapes definitely to have something more going for them right now, but it's all I can do to barely see the fucking box, let alone the sphere inside the box, let alone the fucking center lines inside the sphere, inside the box, let alone designing a fucking goddamn shape inside the sphere, inside the box, right? Like this is basically the max of my brain energy, and every goddamn time when I'm done drawing, I'm just like, oh yeah, dude, I could definitely just try harder and hold it in my brain longer. It's like, yes, that's what I'm doing, and this is all I'm capable of, which I seem to forget to myself, funny enough. Right, so yeah, it's definitely not as easy as I always keep telling myself. It's like, I don't expect it to be easy, but I tell myself that, hey, like, you can do it, you know, like, you're able to, like, you will be able to think about the shape while thinking about the sphere. Like, look, you just have to keep trying even harder. And like, yes, that's true, dipshit, but like my brain doesn't even, like, even I fall into the fallacy of thinking that I will be able to improve rapidly, right? But the truth is, it's iterative. It's iterative, right? And that's what I need to focus on, the fact that it is slow, steady. And right now, like, my brain's really hurting doing this, like really hurting, because I'm trying to fucking create something that's actually relatively pretty properly manipulated while also keeping in mind the perspective. And I could easily fuck what I'm doing here up quite drastically, right? Like pretty badly, but I'm trying not to. And now I got to think about, like, okay, what's a nice way that I can connect this? Let's see. Okay, it's not centered. I could have made it more centered, but maybe that means it's rounded. And that means that we could actually round it like around this. Oh yeah, something like that. That's not bad. That actually looks relatively legit. What did I do here, though? Oh, wait, I fucked something. Okay. Oh no, I messed that. Okay, I didn't mean to do that. So we'll have to do something like this, maybe. That was a huge mistake on my end. But let's see, something like... Yeah, I fucked that up. Look at that, that's a huge fuck up. We'll just have to leave it. Okay, I'm gonna rest my brain. I encourage you to do so as well. Okay, so some things worked, other things I just could not think. Like, this was so hard because I was focused on too many things at once, but I'm just gonna keep trying. Let's rest our brains. So this is where I need to go back and ask myself, am I in extreme discomfort? And the answer is no. I need to be in extreme discomfort, right? And I'm not in extreme discomfort, right? Like, to be completely fair to myself, I'm not in extreme discomfort, and I should be in extreme discomfort, right? So this is like a mistake. I made some mistakes here, but we need to now think about, okay, hold up. There's something that can definitely be done here. I just need to be very clever about it, I guess. Okay, so think about the sphere. Think about where it's ending. It's ending like this, right? Yeah, so I can actually do something that is possibly let's see. Something like that, and then this will also wrap around. That was a fuck up, by the way. Like what I did there, that wraparound doesn't really make much sense, but it's okay. Right? It's okay because this wraparound will make sense a little bit more. And again, like, am I at extreme discomfort? Yes, but am I doing what I want to? No, because I'm focused so much on just drawing these lines and like the shapes that it's so hard to think about the overall sphere. Like, it's so hard. I want to be very clear, like, to think about the box, the sphere inside the box, and the center line inside the sphere inside the box is already taking up a shit ton of mental energy. And I keep losing it, and I should expect nothing but to keep losing it because it is that difficult, right? Like, because I'm also focused on making sure my lines are okay, right? A lot of things are just not good. And that's just how it should be. Like, I shouldn't expect to be able to do things that I can't do, but I should try to do these things, right? Because that's how we try to get better. See, that was a huge mistake too. See, I actually connected that, which isn't bad. My fucking eyes just like twitched there because I couldn't even fucking, I just like, I don't know what the fuck happened. My eyes just like, like, because it's so hard to see, right? And this is actually completely inaccurate now that I look at this. Like, that is completely inaccurate. It should be way more like this. I don't know why my voice is like that now. Okay, so the design's obviously very muddied. Like, very muddied. Because it's so hard to see that sphere. That's the main problem. And that's what I'm going to constantly keep working on. Right? Is that seeing that sphere. And let's see. I'm just trying to see the box that I've established. Dude, everything is so off. Damn, my perspective is really wrong. That's incredible how much I managed to bastardize my perspective to this degree. It's actually incredible. But again, I'm trying to find that balance too of like, hey, you're thinking, but you're not thinking, if that makes sense. Like, I'm in the zone, I'm trying to think, but like, obviously I'm trying to really, like, the main thing for me is just trying to think about the box, right? Like, and the sphere inside the box, and then the central line. So like this shape, I made a shape like this before, and it didn't work out so well. So now the question is, how do I make this shape work out compared to last time, right? What can I do with this shape that is intrinsically more interesting? Because we've already made a million mistakes here. Like, this, at this point, we've already made quite a few mistakes, and I just made another one, you know? Because this was supposed to be the end of the sphere, I believe. Yeah, see, so we've already made many, many, many mistakes. Now, this is like I literally couldn't see anything. You know, the sphere is so subpar. So I guess what I can at least, and because I couldn't see the box properly either, right? And I thought I was thinking, but it's clear I wasn't thinking that hard. So it just comes down to, at least now, being like, is there at least something I can do to make this look not as bad? And the answer might be no, there is not. There actually is not anything I can do to make this look not as bad, right? But let's at least try, right? Because this is technically supposed to be my angle, but even here you can tell I fucked up. Like I actually lost everything, if you can't tell. Like I actually lost everything in terms of a connection. So this is my punishment, my divine punishment, right? Which is just failure, which isn't really much of a punishment. It's just an opportunity. Like again, my brain is hurting so much. I keep losing the perspective. I feel as if I de-established my perspective many times as well, if that makes sense. Like I really did not do a great job. And I'm not saying this as like I'm fucking crying over it and I can't, and I'm like it's never gonna be good again, but just as like an objective measure of what I did, right? Because even this is just like whatever I did here, right? But oh wait, maybe this could connect downwards. Like this thing could actually connect. And then we could do something like this, right? And then this could connect outwards like so. And we could still have perhaps something like that. And this follows the contour. And again, you can see like so much of it is just me trying to come up with shapes that look interesting, and then it turns into a fucking mess like this, right? So, but the big problem right now is like I'm probably thinking a bit too much on making these shapes look interesting, instead of, yeah, like that little balance of just free-flowing ideation and like just pure experimentation, but also making sure like the basis, the foundation that it's on makes sense. Because like this also, the structure for this changed completely, right? Like this is the new box perspective, all because I didn't make this line as accurate, and this one was actually pretty okay. And this one, see, like this one wasn't bent down enough, right? So incredible mistakes. Obviously onwards to repetition number 2. I'm gonna rest my brain. I encourage you to do so as well. Just gotta keep trying. I mean, there's nothing else I can do, right? But I hope you can see it's always one step forward, fucking 2 steps back. But I also need, I think I need to also, and I probably have said this multiple times, this is just part of, I guess, my learning journey, but without a doubt, I'm just going to focus on having one thing, like this is what I'm going to establish. One thing in the middle, right? One thing underneath that thing in the middle, and then something connecting it to both sides, right? Like that's my bare minimum. And this needs to be my bare minimum foundation, right? Because that can change. Like maybe it'll be one thing in the middle, something here, and then something will jet out here, and something will jet out here, and I won't have a connection, but it'll like come in this way. But the point is, I need to have something here, I need to have something here, I need to have something in the middle, and I need to have something down here. Like that, I'm going to try to have that be my constant. So those like 4 anchor points, basically like literally in the middle, or like 3 things in the middle of the side plane and the front plane, and then yeah, because like this is not working, but I will work all the same. So let me rest my brain, and then we'll get back to it. Yeah, I also definitely want to keep reminding myself to be in extreme discomfort and genuinely take a step back, right? Like be like, okay, pause. Look, what are we actually trying to do? Like, don't be afraid to think, right? I'm never afraid to think. I'm fucking grinding my brain constantly. But even then, it's like, don't actually be afraid to really take a step back and think. And perhaps I will need to verbalize it, perhaps I'll have to be silent and you can enjoy the background music, but I think I should allow myself that liberty to some extent, right? Liberty, give me grace! I think that's in the Zimbabwean national anthem, right? Liberty, give me grace, man. That's Jamaican. I don't know what the fuck a Zimbabwean accent is, right? But yeah, the whole hood comment still has me laughing. The emperor of black people. Classic Ravon. Ravon. Right, perhaps he's Francais. But anyways, okay, so this definitely I need to adjust the angle I had here. So it's more like this. And again, I'm looking at obviously the portrait reference when I do this. That's a bit more accurate. I still think it should be a bit further more. Like that. That's a bit better. But you can see how the line is absolute fucking dog doo-doo. Right? Way too thick. But that's why I like the new fucking pen, to be honest. Right, that's why I like the new pen. Because it really, really reminds me how shit I am. Like, it really reminds me just how shit I am. Right? But yeah, again, Discord is in the description. I'm curious. I'm actually curious what kind of fans I'll get. I really hope you guys don't use the Discord as an opportunity to just be, like, autistic, for lack of a better word. Right? So, let's all be relatively normal. Do not use me as a baseline. Do the opposite of what I would do, which is don't be a dickhead. Be kind. Be respectful. You know, be considerate. All those things. Read the rules. I actually made some Discord rules, right? And it's a little bit funny. I chuckled at them, but yes, the rules exist nonetheless, right? But it's the same shit. Be nice. Be civil. We don't believe in talent. I made sure to put that there. Like, do not fucking talk about. Like, you're allowed to talk about whatever you want. Obviously, I'm not gonna be a dictator about it, but it's kind of, let's actually promote healthy artistic mindsets, right? Like, let's actually promote what very few art communities promote. And going to assume many of you are beginners, but I also have realized that there's a lot of people who are actually much better than me that watch me, which is crazy, because what the fuck? Well, it's like when Tyrion Broken Draw said he used to watch my videos, right? I don't know if he still does, but there was a point where he said he was learning a lot from watching my videos. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? What are people who are so much better than me in every aspect learning from watching my videos? But you can learn no matter where you are in comparison to anybody else. So I have to be aware of that as well, right? It's like, it's a good thing that people can learn from me, and it's a good thing that I can learn from them, right? It's, at the end of the day, what I say, maybe some of it resonates with you, and what I say, some of it won't resonate with you. But if you're able to take away some lessons and be like, damn, I'm gonna implement that, or I'll think about that, and like it might help me, then that's still a good thing, right? The people who are benefiting from taking in any information and applying it are still benefiting. It doesn't matter whether they're taking it from someone who's less experienced or more experienced. Although obviously the experience does have a quality to the weight of the words. Right, like I'm gonna assume, and so does the skill level, right? Experience isn't everything. I specifically quantify experience as skill level, right? Because somebody might have fucking 15 experience drawing, but they've just been jerking their dick in one hand and drawing with their I don't know what's a utensil that would make somebody look like an idiot if they're drawing with it. Drawing with their toothbrush and the other, whatever. Right? I'm not one for fucking amazing examples, clearly. But by the way, while I'm doing all this, while I'm talking, while I'm drawing these lines, I'm really trying to think about that sphere inside this box. Like, I'm really trying to fucking see it as well as I can. And I think the thing is, like, the reason this drawing on the left was as hard as it was is I think this is actually some of the most effort I put into making that sphere as constant as possible while I was drawing. So it's actually interesting. Like, it feels like maybe it's a step backwards, but when I actually reflect on it and be like, oh, okay, never mind. Like, I was actually trying harder than ever to hold that sphere in my mind while drawing shapes over it, which is the skill that I'm looking for. Which means that, you know, like, it's still something that is extremely beneficial, right? So let me draw this guy's nose first, and let me not fuck it up, hopefully, like last time. Although, again, I'm not going for accuracy at all, really. Like, genuinely at all. Oh, God. My burps will be the death of me. Literally, my burps are gonna fuck me up one day. But, let's see. His nose. And then it's over here, and then it's a bit bigger. Right. And then we have nostril. like so. And this right here, this is where my brain does not want. This is where my brain actually dies. Like this right here. Not because I'm drawing the fucking nose, but because I'm literally trying to draw this feature. This extremely difficult feature. Right? Or not even difficult, just a feature on top of what I'm trying to imagine, which is the sphere and the center lines. And this is actually, and now imagine this, but doing it with this. and removing the box and trying to think about the box as well. Right? Like that's the level of difficulty that the skill I'm trying to achieve, the skill I will, but currently trying to achieve is, right? Like that's how hard it is. I wonder if that puts it into perspective. But yeah, on the topic of my Discord, just let's all have a good time. Let's all talk about art. Okay, so this is, I made the eyebrow too low. I've been making the eyebrow way too low from this angle, so that's something I do keep in mind, right? But let's all have a good time. Let's talk about art. Let's, I don't know, just promote a good mindset. I feel as if mindset's the biggest thing that beginners lack, right? Oh, again, like not that all of you are beginners. I understand that now, you know, but yeah, because like somebody came onto my Discord or one of my live streams, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you're so good." They're like, "Yeah, I'm good with anatomy, but I've struggled with perspective." I'm like, and me being me, I just assumed like, "Oh, they must be new." So I was just like, "Oh yeah, do this, do that," and then they followed me on Instagram, and I looked at their work. I'm like, "This guy's fucking so much better than me." Like I think like his perspective in anatomy is amazing. So I think it's just a matter of practicing it, translating it to architecture or like hard surface things, but. Like, the man has pretty good fucking anatomy, for sure. Like, perspective skills when it comes to drawing figures and shit, so... Let's see... Okay, so... And again, really trying to think about that box. Like, genuinely really trying to think about that box. Oh, sorry, that sphere. Okay, so, like, I'm trying to hold it, and I'm gonna really try to think about that sphere and the center lines that are going while I do this. While I draw this line, because that's basically... the skill that I need to achieve, right? So, okay, that was okay. It flickered for about 10 seconds, or for 10% of it, which is still more than I could ask for right now, but I still need to calculate, of course, so I'm going to rest my brain again, and slowly but surely, and this is getting a lot better. I think, like, this is definitely a good size for my boxes to be at, but yeah, let's try to make let's really try to tap into that flow of the designing. But more than anything, I think anchor points are a pretty good way to go about it right now, because like everything could be an anchor point, and it's so hard to think about a center. But the thing is, like, the anchor point is all based on my ability to visualize this, right? Like, these anchor points mean nothing if I can't visualize. Jesus Christ, that was horrible. But if I can't visualize this center point in my box, right? If I can't visualize that and then put a sphere, right, like inside the box, and then visualize what that center point would be like when it's curved, and then think about this. You see how there's three very difficult calculations that have to occur before I can even be like, yes, this is my center, and then, you know, I have to evenly spread things across it and be like, oh, look, anchor number 1, anchor number 2, okay, now this is gonna curve around. Oh, look, anchor number 3, right? Like, that is extremely difficult. But that's what I'm going to attempt, right? I think, let's just keep it simple, and like I keep going, and I'm not getting frustrated, but I want to try to make it very clear that so much of what I have experienced now when it comes to art, and like really, I don't know why I said really like that, really focusing on the boxes and you know, like, okay, really focusing on the boxes and cylinders. Okay, I literally went almost full retard there, which you're not supposed to do, but I almost did. Oh shit, it's taking over me. But what? Jesus Christ. But I'm a funny guy. But it's really like what I'm learning when it comes to focusing just genuinely on difficult things like fundamentals and trying to design and spatially reason and hard surface shapes and trying to wrap things and all that shit is just, you will have the same revelation multiple times. That revelation will have more nuance as you continue to get more skilled at the thing. And parts of that revelation may be omitted and new information may come into it. But it's like the general thing of like, oh, I need to design simple. I need to think about the wraparound. I need to think about the box. Like, the main things have always stayed the same. It's just been my approach to be like, okay, on top of constantly refining this main thing, what are what's like that one thing that I can try for the next X amount of fucking hours, like 5, 10, 15, 20 hours, that would be a good way to go about it. And this is just the next thing is like I'm just trying to create anchor points and structure. Before I was vaguely just being like, okay, think about the center, but now verbalizing anchor points could be the next step, right? And if I personally, with all my experience I've accumulated now, it feels like a pretty safe bet to be like anchor points on perspective that are structurally tied to the perspective and calculations. Like that doesn't feel like it's such a wrong approach or misled approach. But the only way I'm gonna know that is the next 50 repetitions. So with that being said, let me rest my brain and we're gonna put that first repetition with this additional layer of perspective, which is like extremely difficult skill, I wanted to say. Like that's another extremely difficult skill I have to think about now. But I think this is definitely like box, sphere inside the box, center line inside the sphere inside the box, and then anchor points along the center lines, inside the sphere, inside the box, right? That is most likely the most holistically correct way to approach this in terms of what I want to achieve out of this form wrapping sphere hard surface butt fuckery. And with that being said, let me rest my brain. Jesus. Yeah, I do feel bad for anybody listening who's trying to glean any sort of insightful information, because on one hand I feel like I explain things clearly, on the other hand I feel like I over explain things. So I do apologize. Like if you find like what I said just now was clear, okay, cool. Like I hope you got something out of it. But if it was something where you're like, what the fuck? He just said three slightly samey things, but one kind of expanded on the other, but then he kept repeating himself. So if you're that person, which I don't fucking blame you because that's literally how I speak at times, right? I do apologize, but I hope me at least repeating the same things like gets the core message of what I'm trying to say across, which is think about perspective to a deep degree, constantly keep it in your mind, and then constantly make it more complex on how you interact with the perspective that you try to visualize, right? In this context, it is box, sphere inside the box, center line inside the sphere, inside the box, bless me, and then now the anchor points, right? And then designing shapes on top of that. And I think the skill of holding a perspective or multiple layers of perspective while designing shapes around it is fruitful to any endeavor. Like think about drawing a bike, right? If I want to draw a bike, even if I don't know what a bike looks like, because I've been practicing drawing complex shapes so much, I'll be able to be like, okay, it's a wheel, there's like an attachment here, this is like the frame, there's another thing here, there's a wheel here, and all while I'm keeping like a box in perspective, right? You know, and then maybe there's like something coming out there, and there's a handlebar, and there's another handlebar, and then this is like a seat, right? And then maybe there's like a chain here, and yeah, like none of this is all like graphic and super weak, but the point is, what I'm trying to say is once I can hold a perspective that is large enough in my mind and put shapes within, around, on top, curved, whatever, intersected on it, right? It should be a lot easier over the next 5-6 years to draw really complex, as I was saying, complex things from imagination. Bro, I shouldn't speak. I should just draw. Just shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up, right? It's like that scene from 22 Jump Street where they're having a revelation and the guidance counselor keeps interrupting them, and he's like, and they're like, shut the fuck up. Wait, just shut the fuck up. And he's like, excuse me? He's like, shut the fuck up. It's just funny scene. Very funny scene. It's when they realize that the drug dealer was not who they thought they was, without spoiling anything, right? But okay, so anchor point. You see? So we have to at least remember that we're creating anchor points. Anchor point, and to make things even more anchor pointy, we're gonna start immediately with creating this anchor point, right? And I'm gonna obviously try to keep the perspective in my mind as much as possible. And these lines are not that good, and this cylinder, this ellipse is not that good either, right? But I've already created an anchor point now. This is already helping me so fucking much. Like genuinely, it's helping me so fucking much. And let's see. Let me just try to think about this. Yeah, okay, see, like, I completely lost the perspective there still, though. Like, no matter how much I just said, oh, it helped me so much, I still lost the perspective. Right, so I still need to... yeah, I still need to think. Like, no doy, but still, like, I still need to think. I still need to think about that sphere, the box. Really zoom out, try to think about the anchor points, right? And now we can maybe do something like this, right? Because this is my, yeah, my fucking minor axis, right? So, and I already lost the anchor point again. I want to be very clear. Like, I already lost it, but now I'm just in the midst of trying to gain it back while also designing, right? The allure of the word design, that means nothing to someone like me, right? But people always use the word interesting, but I will never understand it, right? But either way, okay. And then let's see. This is my little center thing. Let's see. Maybe this actually does work, right? Well, again, it doesn't matter if it works or doesn't work. I will work, and I will create these anchor points in my mind, and then I will figure it out. And that's all that matters, is that I will figure it out. Right? There's literally nothing more to it than the fact that I will figure it out. So this is my perspective, right? So I obviously want to... Okay, so this is where I'm realizing that the design is kind of not that good. Right? Already I'm realizing that the design is just kind of meh. Because... And I'll explain it. I'll actually try to explain it instead of just being vague. Because what I'm seeing is these two are not only so close that... And usually, intuitively now, because I've practiced it a decent amount, I know that A, these two are a bit too close, and something about machinery, and like there's not enough space there. B, if I just put this as a diagonal now, right, it just won't look that functional. So something else needs to happen here to make this look like it's really attached, like it's rigid, right? And perhaps what that is, I don't know yet. I don't know what that thing is yet. But hopefully my honesty makes you be like, wow, well, at least he knows that he doesn't know, right? At least I know that I don't know, which is, I guess, it's like a fucking little, pat on the back, participation trophy. Good job, retard, you don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Well, you should know. Well, I don't know, god damn it. There you go. And then we'll do something like this. This is gonna be very simple. Like, actually very simple. And, oof, the sphere definitely is being lost a little bit, which is why, okay, I'm gonna take a step back. We're gonna take a step back and we're gonna recalibrate and try to see that sphere properly, right? Okay, so let's ghost it if we can't see it as well. Okay, that's not bad. There you go. Right? There you go. That should be pretty decent. So see, it's a good thing I'm not closing this off yet. Even though I've already probably made many mistakes closing this off, what I'm closing off right now, like this manipulated box, right? It's a good thing I haven't closed anything else off yet, Because we do need things to connect, right? And let's see. Because this is, well, like, this is already pretty fucking off as well. And obviously I lost the center line a lot as well, but this is a diagonal, first and foremost. Right? So, okay, maybe I will, just to see what that looks like, right? Maybe I will continue that. And then we can... What shapes would be like, this is interesting and not that bad and not super shite, right? We could just do something like this, goes all the way up, right? And then perhaps I wanted to angle it, but it's probably best not to angle it right now, right? let's see, I'm trying to think. I don't know what else to do, but let's at least keep that box and the sphere and the central lines in mind. Right? Well, I may have already made another mistake here, actually. Because I shouldn't have made that go so down. But let's see. Let's see. Well, who says, actually? Who says that's the way it needs to be? I could literally do something like this. Right? Bring it over on the other side. And I'm telling you this right now, like when I go to rest and I do my own thing, like I'm just resting, I'm not drawing, my brain will come up with all these unique designs and be like, oh, you could have done that, you could have done this. It doesn't fucking matter because it didn't come up with it while I was thinking about the box, the sphere inside the box, and the center line inside the sphere inside the box. And that's when it matters, right? Like thinking about it, that's when it matters to think about it. But it didn't think about it during that point, so it doesn't really matter, does it now? Right? And that's the way I like to think about it. It's like I can get inspired as much as I want. I can be fucking inspired for the next 50 hours when I'm not drawing. But when I'm thinking and I'm actually in that state, clearly I can't do it. Like I just don't have that ability yet. Right? Yet. Okay, let's see. Maybe this is a good diagonal, actually, now that I think about it. This could be a good diagonal. I'm just trying to find little spaces. Wait. There you go. Right. I almost fucked that up there too. And then let's see. We could do something like this. Just a half cylinder attached. And then we could do something like this. You might be like, wait, isn't that gonna fuck up the box? Nope, because I'll cut it off right there. This is called small. Part of the big, medium, and small. Not that I actually know what I'm doing. But see, I'm getting too zoomed in, so we're gonna take a step back, get the perspective back. Or at least try to get the perspective back. Right, and again, my lines are obviously very... Like, I love these pens. I just love it when they basically tell you to go fuck yourself, right? In terms of understanding, like line quality and shit. But this is nice and all, but this also still has to curve, right? So we need to make sure that there's something that's actually following this contour. Know what I mean? And I think that's actually the perfect opportunity for me to do something like this. Okay, but see, like this is where I need to really think about the sphere. Because if that's the center, then it should be something like this, yeah. And this is my sphere, right? Something like that. So this can obviously close off. And maybe we'll just bevel this. Nah, that doesn't look that good. Maybe we'll double cylinder this on the other side. I mean, at least this shape has a little bit more intentionality to it, but it's still pretty mediocre in all aspects. And this is incorrect. But again, this is an opportunity for me now, right? To be like, hey, let's actually see what we can do by wrapping it around the sphere, right? Let's see what we can do by... And I'm kind of allowing my brain to be a bit more free-flowing right now, and we'll see what that turns into, of course, because right now, let's see, if that's the perspective, then I will do something like that as well. Let's see, as this, right? And then it's coming around here. But before I do anything with that, we need to close the sphere off here. Again, think about the box, the sphere inside the box, and the center line inside the sphere inside the box. Very difficult. But this shape that I have here, like this is honestly, like this entire thing is pretty fucking mid. Like this is too thin, that's the biggest thing, right? So I could probably get away with doing something like this. Because this needs reinforcements. That's the most important thing. Like this, what I've got right here, needs reinforcements, you know? So, like maybe something like that helps, right? But the other thing is, okay, like how's this attached? Because that's attached like so. We can actually close that off, right? So that's an okay attachment. And then this also needs to be attached and makes sense. So, oh, see, but then I created that. So, how does that attach? Oh no, that's not bad actually, because I could just do something like, yeah, I could just make it close off, right? But do I want to do that? This is where I have to think, right? Like, what could I have done? Okay, maybe I could do something like this, right? Because I did want a focal point in the middle, so maybe something like, and we'll keep it relatively simple, right? We'll just, obviously it's a bit manipulated, but we'll keep it relatively simple. Again, I'm really trying to think about that box right now. Really fucking try my goddamn hardest. And I've obviously, like, thankfully already filled out parts of that sphere. But that is no, that's no need, that's not a reason to get complacent. Right? So, did this, and then, let's see. I wanted to, like, curve into this. Like that. That actually might be a bit of an interesting shape. Now, I don't know if that looks okay, actually. There you go. Kind of looks like shit. But I thought I was going somewhere with that, which is what matters to me, to be honest. Like, I thought I was actually getting somewhere with that, but seems like I wasn't. I could at least kind of just do this, right, where it's like plated. Like so. Well, that should have been more curved. Okay, well, that is now muddied. So that was a mistake. I shouldn't have added that background stuff, but maybe we can still fix this. Right? Something like this. And then, let's see, because it's obviously... Trying to think. Right, because that's the box, so it's like that. There you go. And let's see what we can do. Because this is actually off perspective and I fucked that up. But yeah, something like this. What the fuck? What did I do? Well, if that's the case... Okay, dude, like, this is not good. This is completely off. This is completely off perspective. I have to maybe do something like this to bring it back, hopefully. Right? You know, simple shapes in that perspective. Okay, I did fuck this up quite drastically, but let's see if I can just finish the sphere. Okay, so the sphere actually isn't that bad. Like, the sphere actually is not that bad whatsoever. Even though I fucked some things up here. So clearly the issue is whatever I did here, which was And that's partly because this angle, not partly, that's primarily because this angle is incorrect. Okay, this angle, like this diagonal, whatever I did here, I did not follow the perspective accurately. It should have been like, yeah, something like that. But you see what I did here, right? I made it too wide, and this one is just complete. This angle is completely inaccurate, and that's what caused the issue. And then I just could not understand the logic of what I was doing here because my brain is so tired. Like I literally couldn't think of the logic of the other side and what that would actually look like. So that's again on me, but not bad. I would objectively say this was a quote unquote bad session, but just gotta constantly keep trying to make something with the shapes. But yeah, I'm gonna just keep trying to find that balance between not thinking too hard about the shapes. I think the main thing is I should just let myself flow when I start with shapes. Like the biggest issue right now is I think too hard about what I'm gonna draw beforehand. And yeah, while that's nice, like these anchor point things definitely helped. I definitely think I should go back to even simpler shapes. I don't fucking know, bro. I'll have to figure it out. All right, like yeah, I definitely just need to keep going. The shapes are not bad. It's just perhaps perhaps it's just too difficult to think about logic on top of everything I just mentioned. Box, sphere inside the box, center lines inside the sphere inside the box, designing simple shapes on top of the sphere inside this, following the center lines, inside the box, right? Like inside the sphere inside the box. And with everything that encompasses design, ratios like stacking, intersecting, cutting, jutting, cylinders as well as boxes, right? Like following the contour, all those things, like fucking 10 different things that are extremely hard to keep in mind, right? Technically, yeah, like this is okay. These two shapes I did here were definitely a clusterfuck and not good. So yeah, need to keep working on keeping things simple. That's clearly my biggest. And this was a mistake here, because that should have been like this, and then it should have gone outward like that, right? Like that was a mistake. This I didn't really logic it properly, like these things that were cutting out. I could have actually just done something where it's like it's connected like that. Like that would have already been a lot better. Like a box that's just wrapping around. That would have made more sense. But yeah, it is what it is. I'm still glad that I put in a bunch of effort. I'm gonna try to I'll try to be transparent, because if I do some drawing outside of this, which I do want to do, I want to practice at least like one of these once every night, right? And that will compound. Like just doing one of this at least like 3-4 days a week in a month, that's like an extra 30 times I've really tried to do something like this, and I've got that extra fucking hardcore mental cognitive effort reps in, right? But when that does happen, I will be sure to inform, like as soon, like fucking immediately, be like, for transparency, I did this, right? Because I think it's very important to let everybody know exactly how much I'm drawing. People still get fucking confused. I'm like, goddamn, this is a video for beginner artist video. Somebody's like, I don't get the timeline. I'm like, bro, I literally fucking said the timeline. They're like, you drew front and back 1 hour a day. I'm like, no, I literally said it took me hours, but I had to like clarify again to that person. I don't blame them. I don't expect everybody to watch the entire video to catch that one little snippet that clarifies things further. So I don't mind leaving those comments, but I still want to bitch, and I'll have my cake and eat it too. But with that being said, I hope you put a lot of effort, and I hope you really fucking tried. Let's just keep working hard and keep trying to figure it out, because it's either that or we give up. And giving up is not an option, because that's how we lose the game. And the point of the game is to keep playing. So with that being said, as always, fuck you for watching, keep drawing, and please, give me money.